Well, we're continuing our series called Tech Thursdays with Southern Mississippi here on Shop South Mississippi. And we're here at the Marine Research Center for the University of Southern Mississippi. Now, we're finding out some great innovations that they are studying here, and they're being, tested out and everything. And we're talking right now with Dylan Sparks, program called Mythos AI. AI, of course, we know artificial intelligence. There's so much of that in this world nowadays. How you doing, Dylan? Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Jim.
Give us a little bit of background about yourself first, please.
I'm from Oklahoma. I'm an electrical engineer by training, and we got started down in Florida. I met some of the founders, and then when we were up in New England, met the rest of them. That's kind of how we got together.
Kind of scattered around there.
Yeah, we're from a few different places.
What does your technology and innovation do?
So we have we're a self-driving marine vessel software company, and so we have robotic boats, and these boats survey the ocean floor. And what they do is they're looking for the different depths near the ports and in the waterways where these big ships are traveling. And the reason we're looking at that is because right now the data is mostly outdated, and so what that results in is unreliable data, and these ships don't know how heavy to weigh their ships. So they end up light loading, and so they're not bringing in as much cargo as they could.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we've done is we've taken what is traditionally a very technically difficult problem of getting this data off the bottom, and we've taken that from like multiple weeks, several months, and we've gotten it below 24 hours. And so
Wow.
So these shipping companies can
A lot better than Google Earth, because you look at some of their shots and everything's like, has been gone for like years.
Yeah, exactly. And that has been the problem with marine charts traditionally. And so what we've done is we've shortened that turnaround time so that these shippers can look and they see and they know exactly how much cargo they can bring into the.
So that solves a pretty big problem for the community.
It does. More cargo into the port means more money coming into the port.
Mm-hmm.
It means more cargo for local workers to unload and then to distribute. It means more GDP for Mississippi and more GDP for the U.S. as a whole.
What made you want to do something like this? I mean, you started out as an engineer. I mean, you're still an engineer.
I am still an engineer.
But what made you want to get into this?
When we were working with the Navy about 15 years ago, where our team met, we all kind of went our separate ways. But over the years, we'd always talked about maybe getting the team back together and doing something in the marine industry. And the timing was just right. We all got together and we thought, hey, how do we revolutionize? How do we use this technology from the self-driving car industry and revolutionize the marine shipping industry? So that's where we're at.
That's really cool. Well, I appreciate your time. Mythos AI. Dylan Sparks, of course, one of the brains behind that program. So again, we've got more and more to talk about, like Levanta Tech. What is that? Let's talk to Kelly Eccles next. Well, this beauty here is, it's so fancy name that comes from a Latin word that stands for osprey. Holly, I'm not even going to try. Kelly Eccles with Levanta Tech. How are you, sir?
Hi, Jim. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Tell me a little bit about yourself, if you would.
Well, I am CEO of Levanta Tech. So I am the founder. This is my baby come to life. So the original idea for the wing structure that led to the genesis of this vehicle is something that I had many years ago when my oldest daughter was a baby. And I sat on the idea for a number of years, but then about 3.5 years ago, it was the right time for our family, emotionally and financially, to begin putting resources into this. And I started working on the Halia. And that's what you see before you.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it just looks like a giant bug
It does look like a bug.
as it skirts along the water. What does your technology do, and what is it for?
Well, this is a sea-launched aerial drone. So we call it a float and fly drone. It's designed to float on the ocean and then take off and fly. The reason that this is needed is that, there's all kinds of aerial drones, there's all kinds of surface drones, and all kinds of underwater drones. But there's not a drone that can float on the ocean, handle the rough waves, and then take off and fly. And the reason for that is aerial drones, with their wing structures, the rotors, they're all top heavy.
Right.
They will capsize in the waves. The idea behind the Halia we essentially ride the waves like a surfboard. So the water comes up to about this horizontal midline, and we ride the waves, and so we can handle the rough waves, but then we take off and fly at high speed, and there's nothing else that can do that.
Almost like a hydrofoil in the water, but of course, hydrofoils can't fly.
Right.
Can't take off and fly. So, I mean, that's some. What does it mean? What kind of problems will this solve for the community?
Well, there's a number of problems that this will solve. On the civilian side, being able to rapidly monitor in different locations over hundreds of miles, instead of doing something that would take days or months, you can do it in a day. We can essentially fly at 100 to 150 knots, land on the ocean, collect data, pop up, fly to another location, so we can sample data very quickly over a large area. And there's a number of defense applications for this as well.
What kind of information are you looking for out there?
Well, the nice thing about our platform is, so we are basically a truck. You can put everything from acoustic data to conductivity, temperature, measurements of the but then you can also essentially LiDAR. You can do radar scanning. There's really no limit on the sensors you can put on a platform like this.
So as far as what you're actually looking for out there, I mean, just
right. Yeah, we can. So almost anything, we can go through and get that data. The benefit of our platform is we're a persistent sea-air interface. And so we can collect data from subsea, or we can communicate with things subsea. We can communicate with things aerially. We can communicate with satellite. So we're really a bridge. We can be a mobile modem, if you will, bridging the gap.
You'll have to excuse the loud noise in the background because we are at the Marine Research Center for the University of Southern Mississippi, right outside the port, which is an ideal place for them to work. What made you want to get into doing something like this, working on this?
So this is...
Tell you what, you got about 45 seconds to tell me.
Okay. So I've been an IP attorney for almost 20 years. I've worked with startups for that entire time. And I wondered, do I have what it takes to launch a startup? But really, this is a dream come true for me. The company is named in honor of my father. My father spent much of his life working with the Hispanic community, and I wanted a Spanish name. And Levanta, it means raise. And that's what our technology does, and that's what we hope to do in the community. We want to create jobs in rural America and in disadvantaged communities.
Kelly Eccles with Levanta Tech, thank you so much for your time. If you'd like some more information and you want to become part of all the great things that are going on here at the Marine Research Center for the University of Southern Mississippi, there's a number on your screen, or you can go to the website.